Wow, the comment section of the little emergency midweek Ask-a-Fish was a bloodbath. Seems like I'm the only one in the world that thinks the Epiphone Slash collection is actually worth checking out. Me for being excited about the return of an affordable Anaconda burst. Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Ask-a-Fish. You know, for a week following one of the most subdued NAMs, gear-wise at least, in recent history, there's a good amount of guitar stuff to still talk about. There's been a random spike of interest around Herridge, there's new Harley Benton stuff. Let's be honest, some of you are probably just here for the free shit. So yes, we'll be announcing the giveaway winners, and there will be another 100k giveaway at the end of this video too. So make sure you watch until the end. Yes, give me that sweet juicy watch time. Just a quick recap, since last episode we reacted to the newest Epiphone, Kramer, and Gibson stuff. They're kind of a little stuck in the past, but that might be okay. We checked out a Cort G300 Pro, basically Cort's more affordable answer to the incredibly popular Ibanez AZ series. Cool guitar with a roasted maple board, stainless steel frets, and Seymour Duncan pickups. Finally did a full in-depth dive into the orange rock reverb, such a raw sounding mid-punchy amp. What I'd consider the Nintendo console of high gain amps. It has a place in any studio. And lastly, Chapman guitars are finally more accessible in the United States again, so of course I had to check one out. And I was expecting the ML1 Hybrid to be something along the lines of a Charvel Pro Mod DK24 or an Ibanez AZ. It totally was not what I was expecting. If you missed any of those, the links will be in the description. You can check it out after this video. But in the meantime, don't forget to join the Discord server for your best chance to get your question answered in a future episode. And if you go on to enjoy the video, hit the like button. That really helps out in the algorithm, as does turning on notifications. And also, as a bonus, you get to see when I upload new videos. And with that, let's jump into your questions. Frankenstein says, check out the new Heritage Custom Core H150. Custom shop guitars designed and overseen by former Gibson custom shop manager Edwin Wilson. I just picked one up and I'm totally in awe with what they're doing. Congrats, man, that's an awesome guitar. And yeah, Heritage is a brand that I'll admit I've been sleeping on, which I know sounds kind of weird since this is the single cult channel, but like, and this is gonna sound super shallow, Heritage has a terrible headstock shape. Like, I mean, that is not a looker. It's slightly better than the one on Melody Makers, I guess. And I know people aren't fans of the Epiphone headstock, even though, I mean, I think the old one was pretty nice. But this one is, I mean, it doesn't really matter. When you're actually playing the guitar, do you really even notice the headstock outside of whether or not it's comfortable to tune? So it's got an ugly headstock, but from what I've heard from just about everyone that's played them, they're some of the best built Les Pauls on the planet. And that probably has something to do with what Frankenstein was saying. The way Heritage originally came to be, in fact, is it was founded in 1985 by former Gibson employees. When Gibson fully relocated from Kalamazoo, Michigan to Nashville, Tennessee, understandably, a lot of employees didn't want to move, didn't want to relocate their families. So they started making Gibson-like guitars in the same building under a new name. That's why you'll notice the Les Paul shape is accurate to the one it's inspired by. There aren't like pointy horns or little stubs. By being produced in smaller numbers and with people like Edwin Wilson, formerly of the Gibson Custom Shop, on the team, they apparently are built with greater attention to detail. And some tend to argue that because they're made in that historic Kalamazoo facility, technically Heritage is the authentic brand. Either way, the Heritage Standard Collection consists of 6 very familiar designs: an H137, your Les Paul Jr., an H350, your ES330, an H535, your ES335, an H757, your ES175, and an Eagle Classic, your Gibson L5. So super traditional, boutique-y vibe, love it. I'm a modern metal player, but when it comes to guitar tastes, I definitely tend to favor the classics. Maybe my giant stash of Les Pauls gave it away, which brings us to the one we're definitely most interested in on the channel, the H150. So based on the color options, original Sunburst, Cherry Sunburst, Dirty Lemon Burst, and Ebony, these seem to be based on those classic, ultra sought-after 50s style Les Paul standards. Premium specs and a one-piece mahogany body, carved curvy maple top. Love how they call it curvy maple, gives them a little bit of leeway on the figuring. Mahogany body with the standard C profile, which from the neck specs seems to be a pretty chonky boy. Ibanez Wizard, this is not. Long tenon neck joint, that's always a nice bonus. Rosewood fingerboard, 22 medium jumbo Jescar frets, Grover tuners, CTS pots, Vichy capacitors, Switchcraft toggle and input jack. So yeah, in terms of materials, everything you could possibly want from a high quality traditional ass Les Paul style guitar. A pair of Seymour Duncan 59s, that's interesting. I've not tried a 59 in the bridge before. If anyone has, let me know what you think. I feel like that could be really cool. So I'm definitely interested in trying them out because new, they're priced the same as a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s or 60s, which by the way, I loved those guitars when I demoed them. Like last couple of years, Gibson has sorted all their shit out, and let's be honest, they badly needed to. But right now, they are making some great guitars over in Nashville. However, I've said this before, and I still stand by it. When it comes to buying new, in my experience, Gibson just isn't the best bang for buck. You know, I'd take Eastman or Maybach custom shop quality at the Gibson USA price level, or Navigator for the custom shop price level, better than any Gibson I've ever played. Again, I'm not saying Gibsons are bad guitars, there's some fucking awesome Gibsons. And of course, they've got great resale value. They're much easier to find a buyer for than, say, a Maybach, for example. Just in terms of getting the most instrument out of every dollar, there are other options I'd personally rather spend my money on. And I want to see if the Herridge H150 is one of those options, seeing as they're literally the same price as a Gibson Les Paul Standard in 2021. And actually, because of all the interest from you guys, I've been talking to Herridge. They've seen the channel, they're hooking us up with an H150 Standard to check out together, put through its paces. So what I need from you guys, which color? I'm thinking original sunburst to emphasize the heritage aspect, but this channel isn't a one-way thing, me telling you this is a conversation about guitars, and I wish YouTube still had the polls. Let me know in the comments which color. And turns out that same parent company also does Harmony, which is a real vintage ass brand that I'm not familiar with at all. Turns out they also have an affordable US made single cut. So they're sending over a Jupiter in Champagne. That should sound real interesting going through the Angle Savage. Anyways, back to Herridge. That's just the standard level. What's really, really interesting is their custom core line, which is what Frank and Strat was talking about. Like I've been going really dad blues lawyer vibes lately. Like we're straying a bit far from the Epiphone LTD content we normally cover on here, but let me tell you why this is interesting. So the custom cores are out of the Herridge custom shop, which has recently been revitalized. Again, right, Edwin Wilson, Gibson Custom Shop, now at Herridge. And so these are like top shelf, US made, premium level custom shop builds, but at prices that are somewhat reasonable. Somewhat. Like as far as that world goes. Comes in dark cherry sunburst, tobacco sunburst, and dirty lemon burst. You know, very 59 burst vibes, proprietary 225 classic humbuckers, choice woods. They claim each weighs less than 8.5 pounds. Nice. You also have the option of getting them artisan aged, which looks absolutely incredible. You get unique wear and finish checking. Apparently, each line is cut by hand using custom tools, which is an absolutely ridiculous amount of work. Artificial aging is another one of those hot, controversial topics that's bound to start another bloodbath in the comments. But I don't know. I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it feels. So I think it's cool when anybody offers that as an optional option. Solid, diverse vocabulary there. So yeah, in terms of specs, nothing really out of the ordinary for a traditional Les Paul, but let's take a look at the price. Now compare what the Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul standards are going for, anywhere from $5 grand to $6,500 for a 59 VOS. A Herridge H150 Custom Core will set you back $1,200 less. Gibson Murphy Lab, $7 grand to an astounding $11,000 depending on the aging level. And I'm sure those are great guitars, but a Herridge 150 Custom Core Artisan Aged is about half that. So yeah, the Artisan Aged Custom Cores are very pricey, but they still fall in that getting good value for your hard-earned money category, at least relative to options at that ultra premium US made custom shop level. And value at any given price category is what I try to highlight on this channel. Generally like $1,000 and below, but sometimes it's nice to be bougie about the right things. And I mean, I'd love to check one of them out, see how it compares to a Navigator LPC, to a PRS Tremonti 10 top, how it compares to an H150 Standard for that matter. Like how much more guitar are you getting for that extra cash? And I know there are gonna be people in the comments like, why would you ever pay more than X amount for a guitar? More than 500, more than 1,000, more than 2,000. Everyone has their benchmark. Throw in the right pickups, use the right amp. You can get a great sounding guitar at any level. And I get it, like I definitely used to be that way. But if you've never tried one of these ultra premium custom shop level guitars, do yourself a favor. When you can safely visit a music store, just try them. You know, there are diminishing returns on investment as you get higher and higher, and that is going to vary from person to person. But the reason these are so expensive is because the level of detail, the level of craftsmanship, these things feel different. They basically play themselves. Nothing wrong with an Epiphone or with the Squire. Like, they've been pumping out some great accessible guitars. Like, an ever-tuned Hello Kitty Squire is one of my main guitars, but let's be real, it's not a PRS core. Either way, waffled long enough about this one. Not like I'll be able to afford a custom core anytime soon, but it's fun to window shop. This is where I'll throw it to you though. What do you think of the Herridge line? Have you played one? What did you think? How did it compare to a Gibson? Any and all thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. All right, now let's announce some giveaway winners. 5 platforms, 5 Neural DSP plugins up for grabs. Let's see who got them. So first up, from Discord, we've got Just Me. Congratulations. Then Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I ask you to leave a comment telling me your current #1 guitar. From Instagram, congrats to Leo's Martin, my Charvel Joe Duplanier. Oh man, Gajira's new album is so sick. From YouTube, Siri Serpula, Zach Myers PRS, love the looks and playability. I would agree with you there. From Twitter, ToneZone WI 2012 Les Paul Special. I've modded a ton, put in locking tuners, a Bigsby, and 70s mini humbuckers in it. Dude, absolutely love what you've done with that guitar. Holy crap. And lastly, from Facebook, Chandler Matica. I hope I pronounced that right. My main guitar is a 2017 Gibson Les Paul Faded with some sweet PAF clone pickups. It's not the most reliable guitar I own, classic Les Pauls, but it has the most soul. And then he's absolutely destroyed everyone's heart with a picture of it next to his puppy. Congrats to all the winners. Check your messages and DMs. I'll be reaching out soon. And now into the next question. Mac King 12 asks, what video games are you playing a lot right now / are hyped for? Raid Shadow Legends. I'm kidding. Although I wish this video was sponsored. Patreon link in the description. Help support your local YouTuber, afford a video editor today. But I'm actually not really playing any video games right now. That's kind of a lie. I very occasionally jump on like Rocket League or Halo with Luke or Pete Cottrell or Andrew Baina. I really wish I had more time to play because I love video games. Used to play a lot more. Like, my Xbox gamer score is over 130k because I can't pay attention to like TV shows or movies or anything. Like, I don't know, I just can't focus. Video games, they're far more engaging. But yeah, like on that note, Halo is my absolute favorite entertainment franchise ever, so I am so hyped for Halo Infinite. Legit, I'm probably gonna buy a Series X just to play that game. And if you're hyped for Infinite 2, they've got a pre-beta test flight coming out. Make sure you're signed up for that. You best believe I signed up day one. I cannot wait. And you might have noticed I'm knocking more videos out, especially the demos and reviews, trying to get through more of the queue. Because for some reason, metal guitarists and video games, there's like a lot of overlap there. And I'd love to make time to stream with Pete Cottrell, or Matt Hafey's asked if I stream as well.
Fish, what's up? My friend, you start streaming?
And I've been meaning to. Like, I've got a Twitch page set up and everything. And we could do a community events. I know there's a lot of gamers in this community and the guitar community overall. Would absolutely love to see if we could set up some community tournaments or something. But yeah, right now just pretty much hyped for Halo. The soundtrack sounds so sick, especially since it's going to be free to play. The community is going to be amazing. And it's been like 11 years since we've gotten a proper Halo game. Like, oh man, I can't wait. And maybe kind of hyped for new Horizon Zero Dawn in general. I'm Team Xbox, but that was like the best game of last generation. In my very, very humble opinion. Again, I don't play too much anymore. But yeah, what about you guys? What are you playing right now? What are you hyped for? I've been out of the game, pun intended, for a while now. Haven't been keeping up, so I'm curious. Drop your recommendations down below. Before we get to the next question, huge shout out to Michael B. Spann and the rest of the amazing Patreon community that supports the channel and makes the honest reviews possible. It's also allowed me to work on projects behind the scenes that you'll hear about shortly as well. Can't wait to tell you about those. So I really appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel as well, Patreon community link is in the description. Or if you're buying gear through Sweetwater Tone and Reverb, you can use my affiliate links. It doesn't add anything. I get a little kickback, so it supports the channel. Really appreciate the support. And now into the next question. Harley Benton Fusion 3s. That you? Kind of. Pretty funny. Now we're kind of like on the reverse end of the spectrum to the custom cores. So actually the Fusion 2 was a project I worked with Harley Benton on back in 2019. At the time, they had the highly successful Fusion 1, which I'd done a video on. It was insane. Dual humbucker super strat with a Korean Floyd 1000 series and stainless steel frets for 340 bucks. That was one of the guitars that really sold me on working with Harley Benton, because it was a model that really pushed other brands in the budget space in terms of what specs were possible at an accessible price point. And it was stupidly popular for Toman and on the YouTube space, so it was kind of a big deal to be part of the design process for its successor. And for that, we kind of streamlined everything, focused on roasted maple necks with stainless steel frets and 2-point trems. And I'll have to double check, but I'm fairly sure the Fusion 3s are very similar in pretty much every single way to the Fusion 2. Like, same pickup, same hardware. The main difference is that instead of a 3-way switch with the mini toggle to split the humbuckers, there's now a 5-way switch. It looks cleaner and makes more sense in an HSH context. So that's why the colors and wood configurations, for the most part, are the same as the 2s. You've got Silver Sparkle, Trans-Flamed Bengal Burst, and Trans-Flamed Charcoal Burst, all with roasted flame maple necks and roasted maple fingerboards. And despite the stability benefits of baking all the moisture out of a neck, a lot of people didn't like the look of roasted maple. So Trans Blue Burst now comes with a regular maple neck and an ebony fingerboard, and after the Ebony Fusion T proved to be really popular, another project I was a part of, if I may throw a little flex in there, that color and spec configuration was added to the regular Fusions as well. And it's cool because now it means that there are more affordable options too. And there were a lot more planned colors that we wanted to do, but like, kind of happened last year, and it's a minor miracle that this many even launched. So the roasted maple versions go for $470 US, while the non-roasted run for $350. Especially in Europe, that's crazy good value. If you're in the US like me, it tends to depend on the week, since shipping in this crazy recovering world can vary wildly depending on when you check. But they're cool, man. As I've said again and again, I wouldn't be a part of the Harley Benton team if I didn't believe in what they were doing. They're pushing what's possible, making premium specs available to more players at accessible price points. Horrible name for a brand, but cool that they're putting pressure on the big names. Case in point, the Squires and Sterlings that launched this year, and even the $300 leaked Ibanez AZ Essentials coming with roasted maple necks. That would have been unheard of in 2018. Did you guys see those last ones, by the way? Classic Guitar Center just leaking shit all over the Facebook ads. 22 frets, looks like a more classic style Geo with AZ neck specs and a more traditional body shape. GC's already pulled the product pages, so who knows when they'll actually launch or in what other colors, but I already want one for a mod project. But back to Harley Benton, that actually leads us nicely into this week's giveaway. So we've got another 2 guitars that I helped design up for grabs. An Amarok baritone neck through stainless steel frets, EMG retroactive, sounds absolutely filthy, and an EX84 modern, kind of our take on the Explorer design with an ebony board, jumbo frets, and a couple of ergonomic tweaks like a sculpted neck joint. And I've modded mine to be super Metallica themed. So to win, super simple, we're giving 1 guitar away here and 1 on Insta. I'll leave a surprise which is which. All you need to do, obviously, be subscribed here, then leave a comment down below. Literally just now bought Metallica tickets, first time seeing my favorite band of all time, so f***ing pumped. So tell me, what's your favorite Metallica song? Then follow on Insta, there's a giveaway post, same thing. Favorite Metallica song? Winners will be announced next episode, so make sure you've got those notifications on, and good luck. Gotta say, these giveaways have been super fun. Stoked to get some new toys into your hands. Now, of course, it's time for our weekly dose of internet abuse. It's the high praise of the week. Fack off. Like, what is wrong with people? Honestly. This is on the Rock Reverb video, I think. It's like, hey guys, this amp is super cool. Yeah, well, f*** off and f*** you. How is that the appropriate response? I just, I don't understand, but it is amusing. That'll do it for this week's episode of Ask-a-Fish. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new around here. It helps grow the channel, which helps me bring you new videos. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video. Can't remember what's coming up first, the ghost horse back there or the secret neural DSP thing. But yeah, see you next video.